Hi, Priscilla. How are you today? Hi, Jay Humphrey. How are you? Happy Tuesday to you too, Beverly. Hi, S. Is it Enoch? How are you? I just stepped in from my garden to grab some more seeds. I am getting ate up. My bug spray doesn't come until tomorrow. I said it right. Mr. Morning video was in the middle of watching it when I saw you were live. Hey, Ani. Hey, baby. How you doing? Doing charity work. Okay, that's what's up. The only way our communities are going to propel themselves forward is if we propel them. That's the only way. That is the only way. We cannot sit back and do nothing. Thank you for all that I do. Thank you. I mean, I just try to do my part, If everybody did a little, we could have a lot. I was looking for parsley, but I can't find parsley. I planted some, but I feel like I need some more because that is the herb that I go through a lot. I go through a lot of parsley. I go through a lot of cilantro. It's always the ones that don't grow hardy enough that I seem to go through the most. Like sage. Excuse me. Sage is plentiful in my backyard. It's everywhere. Donated 400 hygiene kits to foster kids in care. That's what's up. That's the only way it's going to get done is if we do it. I hate that not enough of us are active in our community, but I don't know, can't fault people for trying to survive, and sometimes surviving, that's all you can do in the moment. I've been there. I have definitely been there. Excuse me. But anyway, I was saying I have like tons of sage in my backyard. I always have to cut sage back, as a matter of fact. Sage and mint. But then mint grows all over the place. That's why you have to plant it by yourself because it's a takeover plant. I learned that the hard way in my beginning years of gardening that you can only grow mint in a container by itself. It will take over everything like a virus. You're at work, so you'll be in and out. Okay, honey. Do what you got to do. Get them coins. Get them coins. I'm not really doing anything today. I had no bags or boxes to deliver today. No requests for food. Sometimes I'll do the additional request when people just need more, like if they have little babies or they have seniors in the house, obviously. I had none of those kinds of requests going on today. Hopefully not tomorrow either, because tomorrow I'm going to go to my P.O. box and I want to go back to the nursery. I went to the nursery yesterday and got some raised bed soil for the garden. And there was this guy there, big dude, helped me put all the soil in the back of my car. I tipped him. He said, "You don't have to do that." I was like, "Trust me, I had to do that." Hi, Elle. How are you? We are in full swing of the gardening season. Spring gardening season it's full on. I always start early. Hi, Jake. I am doing good. I'm having a really good, quiet, peaceful day. I'm having the most peaceful afternoon and morning. I'm having a really good day. Thank you for asking. Yep. After I end this live, I'm gonna go back out to my garden and I'll be so glad when my bug spray arrives. guys. It's like I don't know why that's the one thing that I never prepare for. I just go out there and then I get eaten up and then I'm like, "Oh, I need to get some bug spray." That's how I do it every single year instead of just being ready for it. But last night, oh my god, last night I'm itching now. I got ate up so bad last night. Oh, you're welcome, Teeny. I don't This is only my second time going live. Yep, I'm not a live person because that's another thing that's kind of difficult for introverts, going live. And then my social battery, it tends to drain like so fast. It does. Use bug salve. Hmm. I never heard of that. Thank you, Jake. Well, yeah, they did. They ate me up last night, and it did rain yesterday, last evening, and so I know I had no business out there. But like I said, I went and I got all that soil, so I had to situate it in the back, and then one of my plants fell down in the back, and so I had to get the ladder. I had to situate that one back up there, and then one of my plants wasn't doing so well, so then it turned out being a whole ordeal. You know how the garden go. You mean to be out there for like 5-10 minutes, and then the next thing you know, it's like 2-3 hours. It doesn't it always go like that. Oh, I gotta tell y'all. Let me tell y'all what I did for myself yesterday. I am one of those people. Don't get me wrong. I know that I deserve nice things. I do. I do. I know that I deserve nice things. It's not in my head that I don't deserve nice things. It's just I don't know. For some reason, I don't know. It's like as you get older and you start thinking more about things like more seriously about things like money and your old age and health and all of that financial responsibility. I think I got like this when my husband, like in 2019, I don't think I've ever told y'all this. He caught an infection. He's had some dental issues with the teeth in the back of his mouth. And so he would get these really bad toothaches. And I would always tell him, you need to have that tooth pulled. Doesn't even have any recommendations to get rid of beetles from rose bushes. I would try DE. That's what I would try. But anyway, he food grade DE. It won't hurt your flowers and it won't hurt but it will hurt your pollinators, so maybe that's not the best thing to do. You know what? Try for beetles, try BT. Go on like Amazon, even if you don't buy it from Amazon, just go, because that's where I used to buy it. I'm fully stocked up this year because I had a lot from last year, but it's called BT, and it's organic. It's one of the things that I use for organic gardening, and it'll keep away pests too. So, but DE, the only thing about that, I like it, but I use it in certain situations in certain places because it will, like, say for corn, it will hurt it's great on corn because, corn attracts those beetles, but it doesn't attract your pollinators too much, unless it's, unless the silks are out. But anyway, you have to be careful with with DE. I'm getting all the acronyms confused. DE. But I do love DE for certain things because it's very effective. The food grade DE. But BT, maybe try some of that on your rose bushes. But yeah. But anyway, he got from your hometown of Detroit. I'm coming to Detroit. I'm coming to Detroit in the fall. We're saving up for it now because we got to save up for it, girl. But anyway, listen, let me get this story out, y'all. My husband, how come the words isn't going up? Really glad to see me live. Hi, Linux. Or is it Lynx? Lynx. Because the last name is Onyx, I'm going to say it's Linux Onyx. Hi, Leon. But anyway, he got really, really sick. Long story short, let me just finish this. Long story short, he had to have 2 emergency surgeries, all from an infection. They had to put him in several medical induced comas. When I tell you, we were getting ready to move to South Carolina too at the time. I was so worried about that bill, y'all, that hospital bill. And that's when that reality starts hitting on you. So I was just, hi, Sally. um that's when that reality starts to really hit on you. And so when you're always thinking, I can do without this, or I can do without that, or I don't really need this, or I don't really need that, because what if we have an emergency? What if something happens? And I think that whole situation did that for me. But yesterday, I've been watching the whole Megan with Love show. Linux. Oh no, Lynx, as in the Wildcat. Lynx. Okay, I got you, Lynx. Um. So anyway, I've been watching the whole Megan with Love show, and I noticed out in her backyard of the little house that they rent to do the show, there was this planting station. Now I have a planting station, but man was kind of hood. It was just one of my old folding tables that I used that I was gonna throw out anyway, and I used that and I put like a cloth, like one of those fitted things over it, picnic thingies over it, and I just use that as my planting station. But I was like, I really would like a planting station, and I really don't know anybody who can build one. And these days, that's not cheaper anymore. People always say, get someone to build it. It's not cheaper anymore. Hi, Miss Josie. It's not. Hey, Diva. It's not cheaper anymore because of the cost of wood and the cost of labor. It's not cheaper anymore. It used to be a time when it used to be cheaper to have someone build those kinds of things for you. But baby, not anymore. I'm still trying to get that platform deck built, and I think I'm going to have to end up doing that myself. Because when our guy told us $4,500 for a platform deck, I must look like I'm smoking. I don't know what he was thinking, but baby, I just must look stupid. I got one of those faces. I look like I'm stupid. My face doesn't match, and people always think that they can just try me, and then I'll be like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, But anyway, yes, Sally, I know you, Diva Journey's mom. So I saw it, and it was on sale at, what was it? Was it Bed Bath and Beyond? And then I used my husband's email, so I got like the additional 20% off or 10% off or something like that. And it was under $200, and it was regularly $600. Home Depot had it for $630. A couple other places had it for like right around $600. Actually, it was regular $600 at Bed Bath and Beyond, but it was on a 72-hour sale. So if you guys are gardeners and you really want that for yourself and always wanted one, get it. Go right now and get it. I think I paid, after taxes and everything, I think I paid like $170 for it. And so my husband was like, yeah, I'll help you. He was like, and you deserve that. You really, really do, because you just do, because gardening, that is just your thing, and you deserve something nice, back there. And so my face says, don't mess with me or play. You know what? Initially in the beginning, it doesn't, Alexa. It doesn't. Because look how friendly. Look, don't I look like a nice little old lady? I do. I look like a nice little old lady. And everybody just be like, oh, she just so sweet. And then it's like, oh, okay. And even when he said $4,500, girl, I looked at him and I was like, oh, okay. And then he tried to save the job, because he's done this kind of thing. We've done this dance before. He tried to save the job, and I was like, nah. And he was like, well, I got this friend, and he sells used wood. I was like, I don't want my deck made out of used wood. I mean, not that I got a problem with it, but if it's gonna be used wood, then I expect for that to be made, for $400 or $500 tops, out of wood that you're definitely not paying for, sir. So anyway, I looked it up on TikTok, and I saw a sister make one, and I think I'm just gonna do it. I really do. I think as soon as I get the money for the wood, I think I'm gonna I can't get the wood in my SUV, so I look approachable. Yes, I do. I look very approachable. Only I'm not. I'm not. It's like my face. My face is such a betrayer of me. What's really inside of me, it is. It's such a betrayer. It is. Everyone always thinks that. I don't know. I get tried so much. I do. I get tried so much. Like, you wouldn't even believe it. It's just like, and it's like, oh, okay. And then when I let them hit them with a 1-2-1-2, then it's like, oh, where did that come from? It came from the fact that you just unnecessarily tried to get over me and play me for a fucking fool right in front of my face, like I was some kind of kid. That's where it came from. And so they never know, like when it switch on like that, they so people always catch me just because I like to smile, and just because I I'm a somewhat healed person version of myself. People, I don't know. But then again, I've always kind of gotten that. My face, she be betraying me. Yes, girl, my face is a betrayer. She is. She be betraying me left and right. Just this whole girl be betraying me. She be betraying what's really inside of me. She really do. It's the bug balm made by Badger Anti Bug Balm. I'll look into that. Beautiful smile. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, I like to smile. I like to have a good time. It's not that I'm not approachable. It's just that, I have a very, very low tolerance for bullshit. I do. I always have, like for my whole life. I have a very low tolerance. As long as you are approaching me like you got some sense, I promise you, I'm the best person in the world to know. I am the best person. As long as you are approaching me with goodness in your heart and you ain't on no bullshit, we'll get along just fine. But I am the kind of person I'm going to always call you out on your bullshit, Well, not always, because some people just ain't even worth the effort. You just walk away from them. But then they wonder why you don't mess with them too much. Because you on bullshit. You were on some bullshit. Now, if they ask me, I'll tell them. I don't have no problem with that. I'll tell them. Because, you on some bullshit. So, yeah, I don't fuck with you like that. Right, Leon. It's no time for BS. Feel that, me too. You hear me, Josie? Yeah, because I mean, why can't we just all get along? Really, why can't we just all get along? Why do we always have to be so slick and so sinister and shady when it comes to other people? Why do we always have to see other people as some object to be used for our own goodness and and for our own, advantage? Why do we have to be that way with other people? Why can't we just be an honest community? Do you want the truth or do you want to lie? I could do both. Speaking of which, girl, one of my girlfriends called me yesterday. She must wanted to fight. She asked me this question, and I was hoping that she just wanted some, an ear to listen to. And then at the end of it, I was like praying, girl. And she was like, "So what do you think?" And I was like, "Here we go," And then it's like, well, why would you call me? Why would you call me? Because I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell the truth. This whole situation is your fault. It's all your fault. It's nobody's fault but yours. What do you want me to say to that? It's your fault. I'm not about to sugarcoat anything for your feelings. I don't know. People that really, really know me, they call me because they want the truth. But then everybody thinks that they can handle the truth until they actually hear the truth. Then when they actually hear the truth, they resent you for telling the truth. And they think, like you had no right to tell the truth, even though they asked you for the truth. So, you feel me? A good person, but not a nice person. Social niceties in the face of BS. Yeah, I get you. You know what? I ain't seen Nikki G. I have not seen Nikki G since. I saw her one time right after I came. This is how long it's been. Right after I came back from my birthday weekend, I saw her one time and she looked like she was pregnant and she was walking along the fence line. And I said, "Hey, Nikki, are you hungry?" And then she looked at me and she just kept on waddling on. And I have not seen her since that day. We done lost Nikki. I don't know where she at. It's a black and white one that be around here, but I haven't seen Nikki G. I haven't. I was going to make her a little house and everything, but listen, let me tell you what she did do. I'm about ready to have this fight because I know it's going to be a fight. I was going to bring it up in morning coffee one day. I want a kitten. I wanted to make sure that I could give myself to a kitten, that I had the time, that I could commit, that I could fully commit, to playing with a cat, carving out time with a cat, loving a cat. I feel like I can do all of that, but my husband is not going to want a cat. Every time I bring it up, he says, the couch. We do have a really, really nice couch. And it was rather expensive and it's velvet. But we've had it since we moved to South Carolina almost. And I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I want a cat to ruin it, but I'm kind of over it, You knew that cat would kiss me. That's what they do. Yeah, but I want a kitten. And my husband is the kind of person sometimes it's just best to just ask for forgiveness, you know, for him to just come home and one day and it just be a kitten. That's how it happened with our last kitten, Letty. Um, and I named Letty something else. I forget what I named her, but he renamed her Letty, and he got that name from somebody in the Fast and the Furious or some shit like that, and that's what he named her. And he loved that cat to death. And when we lost Letty, he was devastated. So, and I maybe that's why he's fighting it a little bit too, but we won't let her get out this time. We won't let I won't let anything happen, anything bad happen, because it took me a minute to get over that too. But we're gonna get another cat. I'm I'm just gonna have her one day, and she's just gonna be here, and he's gonna just have to deal with it. It can be a good idea to get two kittens. They kind of learn from each other how to be and act like a cat. I can't do two. I could do one. Letty was good. I play with Letty all the time. I taught her how to play fetch. Um, I taught her how to dap. We played with the feather game all the time. I taught her how to play Simon Says. She'll figure it out. She'll figure it out. But I could only do one. I can't commit to two. That's a lot of cleaning up. That's a lot of vet bills. That's a lot of maintenance and care. That's a lot of fur. I'll get one kitten. That's what I can commit to successfully, I feel. So I'll get just one. Yeah, he doesn't want to get hurt again, Electra. Fur babies do grab your heart. Yes, Sally, they do. And the cat person too would love to have a cat, but hubby is allergic. So I love on the neighborhood cat midnight and snowball. Aw. Yeah, exactly. That's another reason why I prefer cats over dogs, which he would rather have a dog, but I don't want to do a dog because cats are just so much more low maintenance. Yeah, right. Animals are like another child. You have to if you're gonna be a good fur parent, you know, if you're gonna be a good human, they're like, yeah. So the black cats are the last to get adopted. I don't know. I like black cats too. Probably own a ginger town for 19 years. How's my personal body camera working out? It's working out pretty well. I've had no conflicts. No, is it on my person right now? No, it's not in my pocket right now. But yeah, it's working out pretty good. It's easy to how come the letters don't go it don't go by itself? What did you name her? What did I name who? I didn't get a cat. I didn't get the cat yet. Yeah, are you talking about Nikki G? I didn't name Nikki G. Nikki G is a neighborhood cat that one of my other supporters named after Nikki Giovanni, because Nikki Giovanni had just recently passed when we kind of, you know, black cats are beautiful. They are. Sally, you say you're a dog person? Mm. Dogs, you got to walk 24/7. Yep. In all kinds of weather. Cats are much more low maintenance. You know, I can be out in my garden. But I am looking so forward to, I really don't want to put this together. I'm going to help my husband assemble it. Hopefully this will be the last big assembly project I have. Um, yeah, Daryl, Nikki G. You did name Nikki G. You sure did. You had a black cat as a child. We didn't have any animals as a child. I remember we had this one rabbit. I forget where we got this rabbit from, girl, but we had a rabbit. And my mother, I came home from school one day and the rabbit was just gone. And she was always making these jokes about how we were going to have rabbit stew. And I couldn't stand her, but anyway, and I remember one time, like, her first husband, my brother's father, was a hunter. And I remember one time they did actually make some rabbit, and it was rabbit stew my mother made. And when I tell you, I could not eat that rabbit stew. I wouldn't eat that rabbit stew. And, and I sat at that table. It was straight out of something from Mommy Dearest, y'all. I bullshit y'all not. Whenever I see that scene, I get so triggered, y'all, because I really lived through that scene, and I would not eat that rabbit stew. And even I didn't care if that man beat me to a pulp. I was not going to eat that rabbit stew. I couldn't. And then finally, after hours, y'all, sitting at that table, staring at that bowl of rabbit stew, I went over to the garbage and I dug my hand way far down in the garbage, and I took the bowl and I poured it way down at the bottom, and then I covered it back up. And then I was like, I'm finished. And, he was like, good job and everything. And, and I never got in trouble for it, but I didn't eat that rabbit stew to this day. I don't think I ever told anybody that story outside of my husband, but now y'all know. Yeah, you got to walk that dog. A rabbit, yep, a rabbit. I don't know where we got that rabbit from. I don't know where we ever did that rabbit, where we got that rabbit from. How's the ceiling on the second pantry coming along? I'm glad you asked. It's not. I still haven't did it, but allow me to explain myself. It's pollen season here in South Carolina, and pollen is, if you don't understand what pollen season in the South look like, it's a layer of green all over everything. And no sooner than you clean it so we have to wait till the pollen. My car is covered in it. The front porch is covered in it. The rocking chairs is covered in it. Every time I go out there, my husband will hose it off, and I can't get it sealed because of the pollen. My greenhouse is covered in it. My planting station is covered in it. A Stitch of Composer says you love hearing the family stories. Not my family. Get back to work, Elle. You know what? That's true. When it gets too close to Halloween, I am root. The shelters, the animal shelters, because there's some really sick people out there, they will not allow you to adopt the black cats. That's actually true in many states. I know in Michigan, where I'm from, it's true. When it's right around the Halloween season, they want to let you, because crazy people, You get that in Kansas City too, like the pollen. You have that yellow stuff. It covers everything. Thank you, Electra. It does. It covers everything. So right now, our regular pantry is covered in it. It's covered. So if I seal it, put a sealant on there, it's gonna seal that in forever. And so I kind of gotta wait till the pollen lets up a little bit. What am I planting in my garden right now? Radishes, kale. I'm getting started on green beans. This year I want to do pole and bush. I love the bush beans better, but the pole beans, the way they look on that trellis, chef's kiss. Diva Journey, you've seen abuse. Makes you furious. Yeah. Some of these stories I see on the internet is horrible. So there are only 60 of us in this room. I'm not talking about anything major. I'm just chit-chatting until I get back out here in my garden. That pollen is because there's too many male trees. Did you hear that she just farted? Who just farted? What are you talking about? Let's get these children out of here. Oh, is that what somebody was saying when they were saying that I was? No, that's my chair. That's my chair. I wouldn't fart on the live. Y'all are really silly. And I wouldn't, well, I can't do anything about my stomach growling on the live, but I wouldn't pass gas on the live. But I guess if you can't help it, you can't help it. But no, that's not what that was. They taste waxy. Our fresh green beans waxy from the garden. No, I've never had that problem. I don't grow wax green beans. I grow either bush or pole beans. But no, I've never had a waxy taste from straight from the garden. I don't know what that could be. You're making waffles. Hey, Jen. My husband loves waffles, but I seldom make them. I do, and when I do, I get those Eggo ones. I'm not a big fan of waffles. The only time that I've ever like really tasted waffles and I really, really liked them was this restaurant a long time ago in Detroit. And I remember we went there. Why did we go there? I think it was some kind of event from some kind of charity event. And one of the local newscasters was out there and she was married to one of the Detroit Lions. And speaking of classist, elitist blacks, y'all remember that video I did yesterday? My husband told me, he said, he bent over and whispered in my ear. He was like, fuck that bitch. He said, fuck that bitch. He was like, stop trying to talk to her. And he was right. I was like, I don't know. It's like I said, I could be kind of outgoing, but he was like, stop trying to talk to her, like she was very classist. She was very, like look down her nose, at the organizer. Here it is, she's throwing this charity event for women's homelessness and domestic violence, but like it was like she really didn't want to be bothered with anyone there. And like, why are you doing this event if you are looking down your nose at the very people that you claim that you are in support of? So, bye, Diva. You prefer pancakes, Enoch? Got a waffle maker? You know what? I had one and then I gave it away. I was like, why is you letting this take up space? You don't even use it. It was just something I felt like I should have, as a cook. But yeah, I finally gave it away because I am trying to like minimize my life. Anything that I don't use, I'm trying to, just rehome it to people who will use it, get use out of it. I don't want to send it to a landfill. I'm one of those people. Ghetto Gastro makes a really good sweet potato waffle mix. Yeah. But I'm trying to get rid of, and that's what I've been doing like these last couple of years. I want to just really like simplify my life and make things as uncomplicated as I can possibly make them, because I feel like that's what would bring me joy. You getting hungry? But that's what I feel like would bring me like joy. So I started giving away things that, like I had an extra crock pot at one time, not the ones that Shirley bought but in my own pantry, I had an extra one that I don't use. And so I just put it on the free website and it's like, I wants to downsize my life, but my mess laughs at me. But yeah, I get you. I'm doing the same thing with clothing, shoes, purses, knickknacks around the house. Like if I really just am not utilizing it, I just want to give it to someone who will utilize it. I really do. And what I really want to do is I want to set up a it's my ultimate goal because I know I'm going to have to be the one to do it. But I want to set up where a buy sale kind of thing, a barter fair, like set that up where we could just come and just swap things, like the black community. Um Moving from a whole house to another, to a little apartment, will definitely cause you to downsize. Yeah, it will. Oh, you're welcome. You did that with clothes when you retire. Yeah, because why not? Why not give those professional clothes to someone who's maybe just entering the job arena, So yeah, I wanna just, even with furniture and with electrical, like tools and whatnot, there's just so much that we don't have to buy, and if someone else has it, then why buy it? The only way we are going to survive oligarchs is if we admit the role that we play in financing their lifestyles, and we just stop spending. That's the only way. And I know that in my life, just with me, that I have to be the change that I want to see. You know, that's why I do so much work, and I'm in support with my community, because I know that I have to live in existence. Um I have to live my life in a way. I have to be the change that I actually want to see. I can't wait on the next person to do it. I have to lead by example. And so, if I don't have to send clothes to the landmine or the landfill or whatever you call it, I don't want to do that, when someone else can use those things. Do you know that they say that there are enough clothes in our landfills to clothe the world 10 times over? No one literally has to ever buy clothing again. That's just how much clothing there is in the world. So I don't know. We spend, we spend, we spend, we spend, we spend. Yeah, we do. We contribute to it. We're always mad at the oligarchs, and don't get me wrong, we should be mad at them. But they get their money because we're trained to spend it. They've trained us that is where our self-esteem comes from: buying their shit. Like, if you're not constantly buying shit, then why are you here? What are you doing? If you're not constantly buying all of their things, and they just get richer and richer. Meanwhile, people like Steve Jobs walking around in $12 gym shoes. He wore $12 gym shoes and $7 turtlenecks. You know what I'm saying? That's real wealth, when you know the real value of shit. Yep, our money funnels straight to the richest at the top. I tend to hold on to furniture repair. Yep, I used to flip furniture. As a matter of fact, I'm really good at it. And I used to do it for young mothers who were transitioning out of homelessness. I would go around, I would get people to donate furniture. I would. And then I would take it home. I'd buy all the supplies from, Lowe's, Home Depot, or wherever. And I would refurbish it. And then I would just give it to them. Thank you, Mr. John Barton. Yep, the money never trickles down. It sure doesn't. So you wear clothes so they can't be worn no more. I know that's right. Then cut them into patches to repair other clothes and other comforters and whatnot. We really do have to get back to that. I mean, we really do have the power. We have the power. We just won't wield it. We have the power. We don't have to finance oligarchs. We can stop purchasing. We could grow more food and we can stop buying their shit. But we don't because we're trained. We're so successfully trained to do so, to the point where even poor people will spend their last fucking dollar on shit they don't need, and then will attack other poor people who can't or won't. That's how much we hate poverty and symbols and reminders of poverty. A documentary